All right, welcome back, everybody. Another Super Bowl in the books. Again, we are reminded tonight why the phrase exists: "Wise men hedge their bets." I did favor the Patriots tonight because they had that chance at the 41st postseason win, a number that normally hits in the Super Bowl because Super Bowl's 41, but instead the team that blew out the Niners with 41 points in the divisional round takes it in San Francisco, and the 41st pick of the draft, Walker, is the MVP. Now, if you took my advice tonight, you still did all right because I liked the Seahawks if they won, which we knew they could, to win by 12 plus. And I totally get why they won by 16 in the Niners Stadium. Joe Montana land with him watching the game, number 16. Of course, Niners won Super Bowl 16. We told you in the public streams this Super Bowl was essentially set in week 16 when the Seahawks had their record 16-point comeback to start week 16 on the day that Greg Biffle, number 16, died. And in the back of my mind also was the Seattle flooding. I talked about that at the time, how it reminded me of Houston winning their first World Series after the flooding of Harvey. I remember, you might recall Matt Harvey, the first pitcher to pitch in Houston after the flooding of Harvey. This time it was Phillip Rivers, QBs in Seattle 6 days after his birthday, after 6 rivers flood in Seattle. Seattle just dropped the Patriots to 6-6. But yeah, we're going to go through the anatomy of the script, you guys. You might know the Seahawks. And by the way, when the Seahawks beat Phillip Rivers on 6 field goals, that game ended with a Kobe Bryant interception. And that was 113 days from Kobe Bryant's birthday anniversary. Of course, Kobe Bryant, we call him Mr. 113. But today is the anniversary of the Kobe Bryant statue going up, which is 19 feet tall. And as we know, Seattle is the only city in America, major city, that has a gematria value of 19. They were up 19-0 in this game. And remember, they just advanced to the Super Bowl by improving to 19-19 in the postseason, exactly 19 weeks after the Pope's birthday, when the last 3 times there was a new Pope, Seattle made it to the Super Bowl. At halftime, the score was 9-0. And interesting because Santa Clara has a gematria value of 90. But those 3, by the way, the Seahawks stayed on 9 losses versus the Patriots. But those 3 field goals, the first was a 33-yarder. Seahawks won their only Super Bowl on February 2nd, the 33rd day of the year. Then the next field goal was a 39-yarder. Here we are on the 39th day of the year. The last time between these teams, it was in Arizona, which equals 39. New York equals 39. The Seahawks won their only Super Bowl prior to tonight in the New York Stadium. Of course, it's really in New Jersey, but it's where the Giants and the Jets play. Then the next field goal was a 41-yarder. A 41-yarder, right? Like Super Bowl's 41, but so is Kobe Bryant. What is 33 plus 39? Here, let me just show you the progression of this because we were talking about it in real time in the game. I just want you to see how they did this. It went 33, 39, 41, and then the second half, they got another 41-yarder. But okay, again, 33 plus 39 is 72. Santa Clara, where the game is, again, if you're new here, this is Gematria. These are the 4 base ciphers of the English language: the alphabetic order, the alphabetic order with numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. But 33 plus 39, 72, plus 41, 113. Again, that's the Kobe Bryant number. Kobe Bryant, 113-41. Don't forget, Kobe died at age 41 on the 41st day of the Pope's age, the Sunday before the Super Bowl, where Mahomes won it the next week in the Joe Montana Bowl. It was his 41st pass, 26 completion to number 26 to put that game away in the comeback over the Niners. But, yeah, the 41-yarder. By the way, did you guys realize that the Seattle kicker just finished the year with a record 206 points, like Seattle's the 206 area code? And, of course, when they won their only other Super Bowl, Russell Wilson had 206 passing yards. We liked the Seahawks to beat the Niners by 15 plus in the divisional round because that game was on the 206th day of the coach's age, Mike McDonald. And had they won by 15 in that game, they would have been plus 206 for the year. Obviously, they ended up winning by 35, 41-6. But yeah, just a total tribute to Kobe, again, on the 2-year anniversary of the 19-foot Kobe statue going up. And it looks like it did have to do with Kobe Bryant on the Seahawks and them winning the Super Bowl on this day. You can see Seattle's 82, like today can be written 82, 19. 19 is the 8th prime number, like Kobe number 8, like Kobe Bryant on the Seahawks wears 8. Matt Darnold. Sam Darnold in his 8th season wins the Super Bowl on the 8th. So that was one aspect. The 4th field goal was a 41-yarder to make it 154 yards worth of field goals. Levi's Stadium, 154. And in light of this being Super Bowl 60, do you remember how many points Kobe scored in his last game? Remember the Utah Jazz didn't score a single basket in the last 5 minutes as Kobe came back and the Lakers to win? Kobe scored 60. The rest of his team scored 41. Like how when Kobe scored 81, his team had 122 points on January 22nd. The rest of his team had 41. And where Kobe Bryant is 81, don't forget, Kobe's dad was drafted by the Golden State Warriors 41 years before Kobe retired. But Kobe Bean Bryant, his full name, has that 81. Also 54, like he died the Sunday before Super Bowl 54 in the Joe Montana Bowl. They honored Joe Montana before this game. And, that's another thing that we knew about the Seahawks. Sam Darnold's grandfather, Dick Hammer, went to USC and beat Santa Clara, where the Super Bowl was, in 54, 72 years ago. Remember, Jesuit order, 54, 72. They made it tricky because the Jesuit coach on the field was Mike Vrabel, and had he won tonight, he would have got the 153rd home win of the season and kept road teams on 131 wins. The kicker for the Seahawks, who ended up the year with 206 points made. Let me pull him up right here. My brain is freezing. Seahawks kicker. Let me pull up his name real quick. Jason Myers. There it is. Jason Myers, 206 points on the year. And check out his name. His name's got the 131 in it. He had 41 field goals made in the regular season, 2 41-yarders made tonight. At one point, they showed how he had 202 yards or points in the season, and then he kicked another field goal and an extra point to get to 206. But San Francisco, 202. You might have saw that Sam Darnold tonight in San Francisco had 202 passing yards in San Francisco. Notice he had 19 completions on 38 attempts. The Seahawks have now won the Super Bowl in their 38th season. That was over the 38th state, Colorado. And they've now won with a 38-year-old coach from Boston, Mike McDonald. So there must be something about 38 in Seattle I'm overlooking. All I can think right now is the number's divisible by 19. But there has to be something else. When the game was put away, remember how I told you guys the game was going to be all about 21, right? The game was absolutely put away when number 21 forced the fumble that was returned for a touchdown by number 7 to put them up 21 points at that moment in the game. It was 28-7 after that play on 2-8. If you missed everything we talked about with 21 in this game, this was the 21st game, Super Bowl game hosted by NBC. It was the 21st meeting of the Patriots and the Seahawks. It was 21 weeks after the Pope's birthday. The Pope, who's been attached to the Seahawks. They're now 2-1 in Super Bowls where they go in the year of a new Pope. They lost Super Bowl 40. They won 48 and 60. The last Super Bowl, 49, between the Seahawks and Patriots. Again, it ended with Russell Wilson's 21st pass getting intercepted by number 21 on the down 2nd and 1 on the date 2-1 as Brady got his 21st postseason win. Remember, Brady became 4-2 in Super Bowls in that game. And now you get this rematch of that Super Bowl that was in Arizona. You see how Arizona's 39-42? And don't overlook the 84 either, because you just had the ritual with Guthrie, who works for NBC, who hosted the Super Bowl with her mom, where she made the plea for her 84-year-old mom 39 days from her birthday. But again, Brady became 4-2 in Super Bowls when he beat Seahawks in Super Bowl 49. Washington is the 42nd state. Tonight you get 29-13, 42 points Again, a difference of 16. Remember, gold is 16. Niners 1 0 16 with Joe Montana. Don't forget, if you spell out 49ers as a word, it's 134. The Niners, when they won Super Bowl 16, it was 134 years to the day of the gold rush beginning. And, it's interesting because Seattle actually has a lot to do with the gold rush on the West Coast, another major city. Nordstrom's, the store chain out of Seattle, they made their money off the gold rush, the Nordstrom family from Seattle. I wonder, I'm sure the Levi Strauss family fits in there too. But yeah. So, another big element that we talked about, just the 12. Again, the Seahawks just became 12-9. The Seahawks just became 12-9 versus the Patriots. Seahawks won 29, right? They also won Super Bowl 48, the only other Super Bowl they won. They lost Super Bowl 49 to the Patriots with 24 points, 24-28. And this Super Bowl is 24 years since Vrabel and Brady won their first together, Super Bowl 36. But yeah, the 12 was big because this was the Patriots' 12th Super Bowl appearance. And this is why the hedge bet was the Seahawks to win by 12 plus. Seahawks, again, become 12-9, 12 years after winning their last Super Bowl. And did you notice how when they had the Seahawks up on the podium at the end as they gave the trophy and the MVP award, did you notice how they had a guy in the audience right behind wearing a Broncos jersey? It's like, what are the odds that he'd be right there in the shot? A guy in a bright orange Broncos jersey when, of course, the Seahawks won Super Bowl 48. And the Super Bowl 48 MVP, Malcolm Smith. Remember when he took the stage, how a guy ran up there and said 9/11 was an inside job? Do you remember that? When Malcolm Smith was giving his press conference after being a rare defensive MVP, Malcolm Smith, 48, the MVP of Super Bowl 48. It's interesting because this phrase equals 48 too. You see that? And that Super Bowl is on the 33rd day of the year. Remember, Seattle, very much connected to 9/11. Boeing, all the planes on 9/11 from Boeing. Magnus and Klemenkic Associates helped build the World Trade Centers. They also built Levi's Stadium out of Seattle. A Japanese-American designed the World Trade Centers. Go ahead and goes with kamikazes. And, yeah, just Seattle winning that Super Bowl 12 years ago. That was 2014, so 13 years after 9/11. Obviously, patriotic number. But, yeah, tonight, the Patriots came into the game 9-11 versus the Seahawks. 9-11. And remember, Drake May became 9-11 as a starter earlier this year on the anniversary of the Patriot Act. All right. Now, with regards to Patriots, again, in week 16, on the day that Trump declared the Patriot games, that was the day the Seahawks had the 16-point comeback, only to end up winning the Super Bowl by 16 points over the Patriots. So we knew 16 was going to be a big number in the game. It showed up in a major way. And with regards to the Patriot games, it's inspired by Charlie Kirk. Now, I caught this, and I gave you guys this information publicly. The only time Brady ever played in Seattle, he said there was only one stadium he only played in one time. Everywhere else he played several times, but it was Seattle. And the day he played in Seattle, the Seahawks won that game over Brady 24-23. It was on Charlie Kirk's 19th birthday. Seahawks, Patriots box score, October 14th, 2012. And here, if you forgot that Charlie Kirk's date of birth is October 14th, he was born October 14th, 93. And we're going to come back to why it matters with something they did in the score tonight in tribute to Charlie Kirk. And I should make this point real quick too. Remember, Charlie Kirk equals 60. Donald Trump equals 60. Trump wins the 60th election from Trump's assassination to Charlie Kirk's assassination 60 weeks and days later. But check this out. Again, October 14th, 2012, the day of that game was Charlie Kirk's 19th birthday, right? And there's some kind of symbolism here, right? Because Charlie Kirk, more of a conservative, just like Trump, not really a fan of liberalism at all. Seattle and San Francisco are the two most liberal cities in America. Tonight's Super Bowl, you have Seattle win in San Francisco with a halftime show with almost no English, right? Trump saying he's not going to the game. He's boycotting the Super Bowl halftime show. He's asking people to turn into the Turning Point USA halftime show that was also offered tonight. So, again, Charlie Kirk's 19th birthday. Brady, the Patriot, lost to Seattle. Again, today's the anniversary of the Kobe statue going up that's 19 feet tall. Seattle's up 19-0 in the game. Hey, you see how Seattle's also 107? Don't forget this either. Charles James Kirk, his full name is 107, like shooting. And that day, Charlie Sheen was on Joe Rogan. Remember, they talked about it live, like it was some kind of coincidence. And King Charles is also 107, and he had met with his first. Remember how he met with his son for the first time in 19 months? That was a headline before Charlie Kirk got shot. Charlie Kirk founded Turning Point USA in that same year, 2012, that he turned 19. He founded it on June 5th, the anniversary of the Patriot games coming out with Harrison Ford. So anyway, I've always talked about how news and how all this stuff's scripted together. Remember, the Charlie Kirk Memorial was in week 3. The Seahawks blew out their opponent 44-13 that week by 31 after Charlie Kirk died at 31. But think about that. The memorial for Charlie Kirk was in the stadium where Super Bowl 49 happened. Okay? Now look at this. The day, here, I'm going to pull this up. The date the Patriots rebranded from Patriot Pat or Pat Patriot to the Flying Elvis, they used to have, for you younger people, they used to have a Patriot, a man on their helmet snapping a football. They changed it in 93 to the symbol they have now that they call the Flying Elvis. Look at this. What I'm getting to is how they changed the logo on March 31st, 93. Look at how this is 197 days before Charlie Kirk was born. Remember, the score was 19-7. And 197 is the 45th prime. New England equals 45. This was the first Super Bowl with 2 Mikes as the head coach since Super Bowl 45, which the NFC also won. The Packers beat the Steelers. And here, let me pull this up here. March 31st, 1993 to the day Charlie Kirk's born, October 14th, 1993, 197 days. Just like how the score was 19-7. Again, 197 is the 45th prime. Trump was number 45. The story goes down in the history book that because of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA and the assassination on Trump, those 2 events were pinnacle and Trump getting reelected. That's all the narrative, right? If you follow me, 4 years before Trump came back, before he'd even say he's going to run again, we told you why they were going to reinstall him. But again, New England, 45 forwards and backwards. 45 forwards and backwards. Ritual 45. Ritual's also 81 forwards and backwards like President Trump. Let me think. Yeah, so those really are the big points of just, and I do find it interesting how they call the symbol the Flying Elvis because Elvis died the year that Brady was born. There's probably something to that. But, yeah, 47 points, 2 in that game where the Seahawks edged out the Patriots. Here we are on the time of number 47, Trump. Remember, Trump's 79 years old. Gold's the 79th element on the periodic table. Gold had its best year since 1979. The 49ers hosted the golden anniversary Super Bowl 50, which was a defensive game. Now Super Bowl 60 in the time of Gold going crazy and the time of Trump being 79. And the Patriots go down in this liberal city with the, so think about that symbolism too. What are they trying to tell us in light of all this stuff kind of being a script and a theater and a foretelling? But yeah, the Patriots go down, Spanish for the halftime show. By the way, A.J. Barner. We loved A.J. Barner to score in this game, number 88. Today was 281 days after his birthday, which is the 60th prime number. And it's just number 21 who had the defining plays for the Seahawks. Today was the 60th day of his age. But Turning Point USA, remember, Charlie Kirk shot 88 days after Trump's birthday. Trump 88. The Republican Party 88. California 88. Today's game was 88 days after the Superior General's birthday. Again, that's the leader of the Jesuits. Lombardi was a Jesuit. They play for the Lombardi Trophy. George Washington is another 88. Today is 14 days before his birthday. Darnold, number 14, wins and becomes 1-4 versus the Patriots with ref number 14 working the field. That's an NFL number for the record, 14. But yeah, A.J. Barner made a lot of sense to us tonight to get a score, and he had the first touchdown of the game. Again, just going with this whole Trump, Charlie Kirk theme, Super Bowl 60. Again, every year that I've been here, I've been teaching you guys. The games are scripted. It's synced up with the politics, the news stories, the biggest stories of the year. It all comes together. And again, Super Bowl 49 was in the stadium where the Charlie Kirk Memorial was. And just to go back to week 3, and that remember, that was September 21st. September 21st, just like we knew 21 was going to be huge on this game. Again, the game absolutely out of sight once 21 hit the what he did earlier to break up their good drive counted as a sack. I'm a little bit confused why it didn't count as a sack. To me, that was a sacked fumble that got recovered for a touchdown, but they didn't score it as a sack. I do believe they scored it as a forced fumble. But I need the explanation on why. By the way, I should just point out that winning with 29, that's a football number. Football's 29. Ohio's 29, the birthplace of football. It breaks down to 11. Today had 11 date numerology. A.J. Barner got his 11th receiving touchdown today. And yellow Gatorade. Yellow's 29, go figure. It's also 92 like Seattle Seahawks. And by the way, another sign that we saw earlier in the day that looked mad suspicious is Joe Mazzulla had the perfect narrative to win, but then by him not winning, you see this score here with New York? Because, again, all these sports are scripted together. When we saw New York win this morning, we were going, oh, man. Both teams on 19 losses now. Had Joe Mazzulla won this morning, he would have been 217-82 in the postseason all time. Remember, New England Patriots 82, Seattle 82. Games on 8-2, but 217-82. And notice that instrumental play that put New England out of commission. Number 21 knocks the ball out, 7 grabs it and runs it back to put them up 21 points. By the way, New England Patriots 269. What is it? Charles James Kirk? Yeah, Charles James Kirk is also 269. The Patriots died in this game. Charlie Kirk, I mean, there's something there with this and the Spanish halftime show and all the ice raids. But yeah, New York wins with 111. New York equals 111. They win by 22. The Seahawks, the only Super Bowl they had won before was on 2-2 in the New York Giants in Jet Stadium. And that Love guy, who it seemed like Drake May, it was starting to feel like, oh my God, is this going to be another Patriots comeback? But then Drake May just threw the ball to the Love guy, the 108th pick of the draft. And what's funny is he was drafted by the Giants. For the Super Bowl, everybody gets 108 game balls, and that's because the shape of the football is the most important shape in sacred geometry, if you didn't know that. 108 double stitches on a baseball, Major League equals 108, 108 game balls for each team for the Super Bowl. But what else is crazy is if you go back and look, we were doing this in real time. Wednesday doesn't matter. I just wanted the 143 up there. When Drake May threw that interception to Love, who was the 108th pick of the draft, he stayed on 143 passing yards for the game. And by the way, if you missed it, when he hit his touchdown to Mac Hollins, who also went to UNC, who we also like to score, Mac Hollins got his 19th career touchdown tonight, Seattle 19. But when he hit Mac Hollins for the touchdown, he had 119 passing yards. When he hit the interception, he had 143 yards. And which, funny enough, is 24 more passing yards, right? Again, as we went over, Seattle 19, Seahawks 24, who lost with 24 and 49. But yeah, another thing that we had tonight. We liked Drake May to get sacked 6 times tonight to get to 21 in the postseason, and they put it up that it was a record when it happened. Because remember, we told you 21 was going to be big on the game. So even though our first read on the winner didn't come through, we hit plenty of things that were good. We liked Drake May a lot for 2 touchdowns. We liked Henderson to score tonight. We liked Mac Hollins. We liked A.J. Barner. We didn't get Walker. I thought Walker would score being the 41st pick, and I thought Hunter Henry would score. So those were the two guys that I whiffed on for player props, but we had 21 for a sack and an INT. He only needed one to be a payout. He got the sack. He had a forced fumble. I should have thought of that. The 6 sacks on Drake May was lucrative, and the Seahawks to win by 12 plus was lucrative. So again, being aware of the numbers, like I told you guys, is a way that you don't even have to have the game right. If you just got the right combination of picks, you can still have a positive game, even if your first read isn't there. It's kind of like being a quarterback. Your first read's covered, but you know what? Your second read is not too bad. You got a nice gain anyway. Let me pull back up the box score here. Again, I want you to see that Drake May, he got sacked 6 times for 43 yards, lost, right? Again, that put him at 21 sacks in the postseason. They said NFL record. 43 attempts, 27 completions. Again, it was 27 weeks after Brady's birthday on the nose. Santa Clara 27. Seattle Seahawks 43. Remember when they won their only Super Bowl? They won 43-8. I should have thought more about the 8. I should have thought more about the 8 because here we are on the 8th Kobe anniversary, the statue with the 8 on it. Yeah, Seattle Seahawks 169, Sam Darnold 169, and you might have saw earlier this week that Drake May said his favorite Bible verse was Proverbs 16:9. 16. They lose by 16. They were down 9-0 at the half. They were down 9 at the half. They finished down 16. Think about that. Drake May said Proverbs 16:9 was his favorite verse. And also, Russell Wilson was in the headlines February 2nd. Here, Russell Wilson, not today, Satan. Look at this. This headline came out on the anniversary of Russell Wilson winning the Super Bowl with 43 points with 206 passing yards, February 2nd. And look at the gematria of not today, Satan. The 169's there, but so is the 43. So again, we were aware of all these things, and that's why I said, even though I still got to ride with the 41 for Patriots because I haven't seen a true 41 fail, now I have. And again, you can't make the argument that the Seahawks had a little 41 thing because they beat the Niners with 41 in the divisional round, but it wasn't picking up a true 41 stat in the game. But this 12 thing, like I said, that was the Seahawks ticket, 12, and I felt like them winning by 12 plus if they were going to win made a lot of sense. The other thing that's interesting is the media, pretty much sold everybody the exact correct narrative. We like the under 2 in this game, and we did get the under. It was at 45.5. We thought there was a good chance the score is going to be around 41 to 45 points. You got 42 right in between there. But yeah, the media was pretty much selling the under and the Seahawks to cover. And from what I heard, that most of the bets in Vegas were for Seattle to cover. So, Vegas must be paying out in a major way tonight. Seahawks, the Super Bowl is the most bet event in America. I do wonder about that as well, because that's not normally what they do. I guess occasionally they got to do that to make people think like, see, it's not rigged. The media knows what they're talking about, but you pay attention more often than not. The media is baiting people into all the wrong ideas, but not this year. Not this year. So Kenneth Walker, he finished with 135 yards, but if you were watching, when the game was put away, when they went up by 21, after 21 punched the ball out, when we told you it was going to be 21, he was on 131 yards at the time, the 41st pick of the draft. Super Bowl 131-41. And just so you can see with your own eyes, Kenneth Walker, here he is. 41st pick. 111 days after his birthday, or the 112th day of his age. Super Bowl also 112. And rematch Super Bowl 49. So, in a sense, he had all those things going on in this game. And just to show you, too, what day did the first Kobe Bryant statue go up? February 8th, 2024. And here we are in 2026, and the team with Kobe Bryant, they win the Super Bowl. And their other one, there were 8 points. And that's standing out to me a bit more right now because I wasn't really thinking. I was thinking about the 43, but not the 43-8 score that they had over the Broncos. And it is funny that it's Colorado because remember, Kobe had the affair in Colorado. And if you guys don't know, Colorado equals 38. It's the 38th state. Kobe died exactly 38 weeks after his wife's birthday. Well, just like Charlie Kirk, unmarked grave. You got to wonder about these things. Media is normally lying. But yeah, Seahawks won in the 38 season. You might recall Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos on March 8th, and he led his team to a 3-8 record that season with the Broncos. And they fell to 3-8 versus the Panthers. You might recall the Broncos beat the Panthers in Super Bowl 50 last time. But yeah, what is up with the Seahawks in 38 now? Because I got it in the 38 season over Colorado, but now they win in the gold team, the Niners. Remember, it was the golden anniversary when the Broncos beat the Panthers in Super Bowl 50 on the 38th day of the year, February 7th. I mean, that made sense too. But I am a little bit perplexed about Mike McDonald being 38. There's got to be something about Seattle in 38 that I've been overlooking all these years. Got to be. Oh, by the way, Gold's also 20. Today had 20 date numerology. Just that interception to number 20. And by the way, that was number 20's 14th career INT, NFL 14 with ref 14 work in the game as Darnold gets to 1-4. We knew that was a real possibility that he could have a pick in the game. And Darnold threw it right, or not Darnold, but May threw it right to him. I mean, who was in the vicinity? It was just like, who was he throwing to other than Love? I need to see that play from some other angles because it looked like he just threw it to Love to end the game pretty much. Oh, man. I really do hate watching the National Fixed League because these guys just drop balls and miss throws that are just so – it's like, how are you not hitting that pass? I mean, your receiver is wide open. Sometimes it's just like they're pros. Like they just zip it too hard when they don't need to. Put a little more touch on it. You got an easy first down instead you're winging it when you don't need to and zipping off your it just drives me nuts watching the National Fixed League as somebody who knows how to throw a ball and play these games. It just drives me insane. But, yeah, you got to love it. Kenneth Walker, 27 carries, 2 in Santa Clara. All right. I'm going to drop the link. You guys can chime in here. Thank you to the Super Chatter. Slick Nick said, oh, yeah, Seahawks got to 100 in total points scored in Super Bowls. Good one. And also their GM, Schneider. Today was 106 days from Schneider's birthday for the 106th season. Mason said, I thought the final score was going to be 24-14, but I was close regardless. I'm thinking about that score. Seahawks 24. Darnold gets to 1-4 versus the Patriots. Ref 14, 30, 38. Maybe, yeah, good thought about 38, I suppose. Also, I thought there was going to be a Black History Month humiliation ritual when they scrubbed that final TD away from Kenneth Walker. They had to keep it on the under. They had to keep it on the under, which is also a little bit surprising because I'm imagining the under was what was more bet. I mean, the media sold a low-scoring game. Us, from a number standpoint, it looked like it made more sense, like I said, for the score to be 45-41 points. But, yeah, in a way, I'm almost surprised. And did you guys notice they put up 30 points in the fourth quarter almost after no scoring all game? Evan says, go look up how many points the Seahawks have scored in Super Bowls now. Well, it looks like Slick Nick's got it, 106. So they had 77 coming in. 77 plus 29, that must be 106. Here, just to confirm it, Super Bowl history. Seattle. All right, so Seattle, their first Super Bowl was 40. The first Pope Bowl, they scored 10. They said that was the most rigged Super Bowl in history. Brutal calls on the Seahawks all night. Then they were up to 53 when they beat the Broncos. And in terms of a plus-minus, it's funny, they were plus 35 in that and negative 11. So they were plus 24 after the plus 24 after their first two Super Bowls, like Seahawks is 24. Okay. And then $10, 53, 77. Yeah. Yeah. 29 put them at 106. 29 put them at 106. And hold on, let's just look at allowed. So they allowed 28, 36, 57. And then tonight they gave up 13. So they now, oh, I see what they did. They've given up 70 now. Another tribute to Gold. Gold, 78. So Mike McDonald's 38. Number 20 has a crucial interception to pretty much put the game away. They've given up 70 points. and they win by 16 tonight. And that makes them plus 36 then, right? Just to make sure my counting is right. All right, 21, 29, 57, and they allowed 13 tonight, right? Yeah, so they've given up 70. Gold. Yeah, gold through the roof while Trump's 79, Mr. 60. Amazing. Amazing. What a script. All right. Yeah, great observations, you guys. And again, just being plus 36. Today's lesser date numerology is 36. You just get that by adding 2 plus 8 plus 26. Patriots won Super Bowl 36 to start it. But yeah, here, I'll drop the link. You guys can come in here and give me your feedback, your observations. National Fix League at it again. I'm going to grab a drink of water real quick. The link is here if you want to join. I'll drop it one more time if you missed it. I'll be back in. It's just going to take me a second to grab a glass of water. I'll be right back. All right. What's up, Evan?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
All right. Yeah. So just continuing off the point there of they now have 106 points in the Super Bowl. Obviously, and we know it's the 106 NFL season, but just another example of semi-primes. 106 is the 35th semi-prime, like Catholic. And the only other time they won the Super Bowl, they won by points. And
Wait,
another thing that's
say it again.
Oh, I said that. So 106 is the 35th semi-prime.
Oh, okay.
And the last time they won the Super Bowl, they won it by 35
And
points.
Super Bowl and football equal 35, and Chaldean and Septenary Gematria and Tom Brady's 35. Yeah, first Super Bowl ever was one with 35 points. Yeah, that's interesting.
And the Seahawks are now plus 36 in Super Bowls for points wise, and the Patriots are minus 52. They entered. I'm pretty sure the Patriots the Patriots entered today minus 36 in Super Bowls.
They did. Yeah, they did. And we knew 52 would be a big number on the game too, because the Patriot games were declared 52 days before the Super Bowl, the same day that the Seahawks had the 16-point comeback to start Week 16. Yeah, how about that?
And 52 is the 36th composite, I think.
Say that again.
I'm pretty sure 52 is the 36th composite number.
I can check. Let me see here.
Yeah, but Darnold got his 52nd win, and
again, you guys, President's 52, so is Pope. Yeah, 52 is the 36th composite number, just with the whole Pope and President thing.
Yeah, and St. Joseph scored 52 points yesterday against the Patriots. So that was a key. That
George Mason Patriots scored 60, and the Hawks scored 52, but they did an inverse on those college basketball games of what happened in the Super Bowl. So,
well, I saw the college basketball game was kind of a little bit tricky because the Patriots got 60, but the Hawks got 52, and I was like, oh, Darnold gets 52nd win. But then when the Knicks won,
Darnold got his 52nd win, and Vrabel got his 52nd loss. That was another big threat for the Seahawks tonight, the 52s. So, again, I told you guys, put together the defensive card, put together the Seahawks 12-plus card. I mean, if you guys didn't do that, I told you, wise men hedge their bets.
And when the Knicks won by 22 today, and then the Seahawks became 2-2 in Super Bowls.
That was another point I made this morning. I hated seeing Boston not hit that narrative. I had me humming and hawing the double 19s and the 22 for the Seahawks to become 2-2 in Super Bowls, and that's exactly what happened. Boston equals 22, you guys, just like Knicks. The Knicks beat Boston by 22 this morning as the Seahawks become 2-2 in Super Bowls. Again, they'd only won their other Super Bowl on 2-2.
And then Mazzulla, the Celtics coach, I think he stayed on 216 wins, and 216 is 6 times 6 times 6.
Correct.
And the Patriots just got their sixth
They
Super Bowl
became
loss in
6
their
and 6 in Super
66th
Bowls. Yeah,
season.
6 and 6.
And that's
That's
just
right.
like how, a few years ago, Belichick got his sixth Super Bowl win at age 66. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they had this scripted definitely years in advance. And did you mention that 60 is the 42nd composite and the game finished with 42 points?
That's a good point too. Yeah, 60 is the 42nd composite. Indeed.
All right. Well, that's all I've got. Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, good research, Evan. Appreciate it, man. What's up, punk rock?
Yeah, Zach. Kenneth, what's his name? Kenneth Easley, who died earlier this season.
Kenny
I
Easley,
mean,
number 45. Yeah, that was a big sacrifice. Look at
big
this.
sacrifice. Started in 87 games, died a span of 87 days before the Super Bowl. Stopped playing in the 1987 season. Seahawks equals 87. Here we
He did die
are.
at 66 too, like the Patriots fell to 6 and 6.
Yup, in their 66th season.
Full name 206. Tonight's kicker gets to 206 points on the season. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw, right when he died on the 14th of November, but they reported it the day later, and the next day Kenneth Walker had a touchdown, and I called that, and here we are today, Kenneth Walker winning the Super
Yeah.
Bowl MVP. And did you see when they had the camera on him and they were interviewing him and stuff? Did you see the number 45 fan in the background with the Kenneth Easley jersey on?
I didn't see that actually. Good
Oh
eyes.
my God, it sticked out like a sore thumb, dude. It was
Oh, yeah,
insane.
I was halfway occupied with daughter and family stuff, but I was trying to yeah. So
Man, if you check that box score or that play-by-play, and you see when the I mean not the Niners, the Seahawks kicked their third field goal, that first 41-yarder to get them 9 points, they did it with 11 seconds left on the clock, like the Patriots were 9 and 11 versus the Seahawks all time.
correct. Yeah.
And then when the Seahawks knocked in the fourth field goal, it was with 9 minutes and 12 seconds left, and now the Patriots fell to 9 and 12 versus.
I did overlook that, but yeah, and Seahawks came 12 and 9, like Seahawks is 129. And don't forget the last sports champion death announced for the Super Bowl was Terrence Gore, whose name does equal 129, like Seahawks, who just became 12 and 9 versus the Patriots, and 66, like Patriots fell to 6 and 6. So
Yeah, and his full name equaled 82. New England Patriots 82, Seattle
82 and
82.
107. Terrence Jamar Gore, 82 and 107 like Seattle, and 82 like New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think about next season? 107th season begins on 10-9
That's
on
why
Charlie
Charlie
Kirk.
Kirk in Chicago. I mean, so yeah, it's still going to be the Charlie Kirk thing next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I should have known that when about the Bill Belichick news and then the Robert Kraft news, and they both not making the Hall of Fame. I should have known that I should have said right there, Patriots can't win without Tom Brady. Without.
Yeah, I mean, I did have that in the back of my mind too. That's kind of all this stuff just keeps making Brady look better. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I guess this Patriots got their 23rd loss all time in the playoffs. Brady 23. So maybe that was the script.
yeah, rather than staying on 22.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, had a winning day, man. I mean, again, I can't really bet on these games, but I did play fantasy, killed player props. Matt Collins, I called it out right then and there.
He
It was
looked
too
so good to
easy.
get that 19th touchdown. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with the Walsh Jesuit jersey and fucking what's his name, Mike Vrabel went the Walsh Jesuit. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
With
And what are the
when
odds that
this,
he graduated in 93, the year Charlie Kirk's born, the year they changed the logo, all the stuff we were looking at. So,
I mean, what are the odds? 19
and the
and
Patriots did
19.
fall to 8 and 4 at home for the year too.
Yeah, yeah, and that was Mike Vrabel's jersey number in high school, I'm pretty sure.
He was, yeah. No, that's what he was 84 at Walsh Jesuit in Ohio. And Ohio 29, like the score.
Yeah, I mean that's just crazy. Yeah, AJ Barner, 281 days after his birthday, the 60th prime, gets the first touchdown of the game, brings the Seahawks up 19-0. Next thing you know, Mac Hollins going for his 19th touchdown.
Yep.
Seahawks,
To make it
Seattle equals
19-7
19.
again, just like wasn't Mac Hollins. Wait a minute. Who again was born in 93? It wasn't Mac Hollins, was it? Was he born in 93?
Charlie Kirk
Yeah, he was.
born
So
in,
yeah, that's right. He was born in 93, just right before Charlie Kirk. And again, he made it 19-7, like Charlie Kirk born 197 days after they changed the logo.
yeah, and just him winning the Super Bowl with the Eagles the one year. I mean, we were eyeing on that. We were keying in on that before the playoffs even began. That Philadelphia was going to have something, Trump was going to have something to do with the Super Bowl. That being 239 days after his birthday, 52nd prime. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to call in about. But yeah, that play-by-play, very interesting. The 9 points with 11 seconds left, and then kicking in the next field goal with 9 minutes and 12 seconds.
That's why you pay attention. You know the numbers. You just see how perfect the scripts are. And we always say scripted from the final score to the box score down to the hash mark. And you're just, that's why I started to get worried with the field. I was like, oh boy, 33. That's the day the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. 33rd day of the year. Uh-oh, 39. That's where they won at New York. Uh-oh, 41. Uh-oh, that's the Super Bowl number. And
Yeah, didn't they make some comparison with Sam Darnold and Brady right before the game started?
they
said
did. I
Sam
forget what the
Darnold.
stat was. The comparison. They were like Brady was the last quarterback to win 14 games in back-to-back seasons or something like that.
Huh. Oh yeah, because Darnold won 14 with the Vikings last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. 12s equals 106. That is what they call the fans up here. 12 alone is 6. Or wait, what is it? Oh, it's fan. They wear the jersey that says fan with the number 12 on it, but fan has the 60. And again, you guys, Washington State equals 60 and 12s, 106. Interesting. Like Seattle WA. And there was a Jewish rapper from Seattle this year that put out a song called $106. Seattle WA is also 56. Like this was the 56th Super Bowl of the modern era on 56 date numerology. Remember Cooper Kupp, who's a Washington native. His grandfather played at UW. He was the MVP of Super Bowl 56, and he was the leading receiver tonight for the Seahawks. So,
and just a band member that died of the Three Doors Down band.
Kryptonite,
I mean,
like you
Three
got
Doors
Kryptonite in
Down.
the Seahawks uniforms. 47, Seattle on the 47th parallel.
3 doors down. The Seahawks beat the Niners, the Rams, and now the Patriots. 3 doors down.
Okay, that's an interesting thought. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I want to come up here and say, man. Yeah, we killed.
Hold on, that's a weird story. Vaughn has leg surgery after crashing at Olympics. I'm just thinking about how the last time the Super Bowl was in San Francisco, Von Miller was the MVP. Okay.
I saw that story too.
That's weird.
And yeah, number 58 tonight. Again, didn't he have a sack?
Thomas on the anniversary of Derek Thomas's death. Yeah, Von Miller, number 58, the MVP last time.
Yeah, and Derek Thomas wore number 58.
Yeah, exactly. Today's the anniversary of Derek Thomas's death.
Yeah. But yeah, so I want to come up here and say, man, you killed it. We all killed it in that Patreon stream, man. So yeah, if today wasn't a winning day, then
you got to hedge your bets, you guys. Like I said, put together multiple cards. We knew if the Seahawks were going to win, they were probably going to win big, and 12 plus made a lot of sense. We knew 16 was a key number. It's too bad, though, that we just can't trust a number like 41 like we once could. But
all I put, it's just so easy. All I did was put $1 bets down on fantasy. It's that easy. I mean,
you can turn $1 into a lot if you parlay the right things together. So anyway, all right, keep it up, punk rock.
Yep.
All right,
thanks for letting me on.
That's it. All right, we got Gematria 32 up, then N201, then Mix Productions. You're gonna have to give access to a mic for me to bring you on, or it won't let me. So make sure you connect the mic. You're the third man up. Then 131. Then Luis Then Chris from Vegas. What's up, Gematria32?
Yeah, you gave this one out for free on on the free streams too. Like for last month, everybody been asking you, so who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? And for free, you've been like, well, the Seahawks could become 12
Well,
and
I gave
9.
people what I saw, the two scenarios. I mean, the true
Yeah.
41 was there for the Pats, but I said that 12 is huge for the Seahawks, and that's
12
why
and 9. Yeah, 12 and 9. Everybody, I saw like, oh, you know, and then today, he was like, oh shit, the Knicks lost. Had you even if you was on the paid live stream, you know, yeah, it was beautiful.
The Knicks loss was very concerning this morning. It was very
I loved it.
Not the Knicks, but the Boston loss to the Knicks was what was very concerning this morning.
You had the Celtics winning over Miami for like since all week. You had them picking up that 34 all week in your notes. So that was beautiful.
Well, that's the beauty of the knowledge too, because everybody in our community knew how big 21 was, and it was huge in the Super Bowl, as we told you it would be. When they saw Boston down 21 versus Miami, again, the original Seahawks were the Miami Seahawks who became the Baltimore Colts. They knew that was time to double down on the comeback for the huge payout, and a gentleman turned $60 into $2,400. That's the beauty of this knowledge.
And then
all
back
the haters in the chat, you guys are a joke, dude. I mean, you guys can't do what your boy does. You know, it was 10 years ago. I told you all for free in week 3. It was going to be Broncos over Panthers, Von Miller, the MVP, Black Panther tribute at halftime. Everything happened. We've had 1 million correct predictions since. That's why you guys are really hating, because you're jealous. Anyway.
It's amazing. You gave this out for free, and then you had the Patriots. You circled it. You had this on lock. You circled this back in October. You had this circled. So I mean, I did. I noticed when I was paying attention to the notes and everything else. So this was another one. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a good night. What's up, Joey?
Yo, can you hear me?
I can always hear you.
All righty. So, President Donald Trump equals 248 forwards.
Let's remind people, in 2016, by the way, 2016, that was another thing about this. Just another 16. That's when he became number 45. But when the election was called for him in 2016, Hillary conceded at the time that Trump was on 248 electoral college votes. He'd pick up more, but he conceded about 248. We told you guys years in advance, the 2024 election, the country's going to be 248 years old. Sure enough, he won re-election. But don't forget that Kamala and Oprah, who asked Trump in 88 if he'd want to be president someday, Kamala and Oprah had a rally for Kamala in the 248 area code. Why? Oakland, Michigan? 47 days before the election, just another sign it was going to be Trump. Trump 47, President Donald Trump 248. Go ahead.
Yeah, get this. President Donald Trump, and thanks for all these trolls in the chat that are saying, thank you, Zach, for the knowledge. Like, frankly, I don't really care, like, where you fall on, like, picking games. Like, you gave me the knowledge, and now I can, like, see for myself who I think's going to win. But back to the point. President Donald Trump, forwards, it's 248. And in reverse, it's 292. And today happened to be 248 days after Sam Darnold's birthday.
Right. And also the 249th day of his age, like how old the country is in football equals 249. Yeah, Darnold did have that.
And 292 days after Marshawn Lynch's birthday.
Yeah.
And
Sam is a patriotic thing, I suppose. Uncle Sam.
Yeah, but the last time the Patriots met the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, only because they didn't run Marshawn Lynch, the Patriots won. So it makes sense that they'd have Marshawn Lynch synced up with this Super Bowl. But 248 days after Darnold's birthday and 292 days after Lynch's birthday. But get this. Today, the day of the Super Bowl was 239 days after Trump's birthday. 239 days after Trump's birthday. The 52nd prime. California equals 52, like president, like Pope. But when I seen the 52, California's a big 52. And I'm like, Darnold has to be getting his 52nd win 239 days after Trump's birthday. But get this, here's the
Vrabel got his
clincher.
52nd loss too.
Wow. But get this. Darnold in that standard cipher, Darnold equals 239.
That I didn't have that. That's interesting.
Darnold 239 in the standard cipher.
Yeah, the
200
Patriots lost in the 239 Super Bowl back in Super Bowl 52, and now it hit him again 239 days after Trump's birthday. That was another concern I had that I talked about, and both times they lost to bird teams. They lost to the Eagles and now the Seahawks, both in essentially 239 Trump rituals. So that is quite interesting.
And did you see when the game was practically in hand for the Seahawks at the end? They showed the picture of Drake May and his dad at the Super Bowl 50.
I didn't see that. But they did show Kenneth Walker's dad while they were up 9-0, which made me laugh because dad equals 9. I thought, oh, how nice. How nice to go to dad while the score is 9-0.
Yeah. Late in the fourth quarter, they showed this picture because Drake May's from Charlotte, and he's a Carolina Panthers fan. And the last Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl in Levi Stadium featured the Panthers. And Drake May, he was at that game. He was like a young boy at the time. And they said he was in section 108. And Cam Newton equals 108. They brought up Cam's name right after that. They said
Joe Montana's 108.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another thing. Check this out, you guys. Look at how they did this. Joe Montana, look at his name. 162, 108. Look at Sam Darnold's full name. And I'm going to show you how this ties in with Drake May as well. His full name is Samuel Richel. By the way, Sam Darnold was born the day the Patriot Games movie came out and the day Turning Point USA was founded. But, or hold on, something's wrong here. Hold on. Let me go to Sam Darnold's Wikipedia. Or shoot, hold on. Is it just, what is it about Sam Darnold? Hold on. 92 like Seattle Seahawks. Samuel Darnold. Wait a minute. There's something that all right, I'm confusing something. Maybe it was his grandfather, the Dick Hammer guy. But Drake May, today was 162 days after Drake May's birthday. With going with the Montana thing. And I swear there's something about Darnold that's slipping through the cracks right now. It's okay. Go ahead. But yeah, there was this Joe Montana theme going on.
Yeah, the last point I want to make is today had the top date numerology of 56. And it was 239 days after Trump's 79th birthday.
Okay.
56, 79, like Society of Jesus. I mean, the way they have it so perfect, like it proves that I don't know actually even how they do this. Like, and we're not even like in this particular decode, I'm not even fangling with the like span and the days after. It's 239 after Trump. It's 292 after Lynch and 248 after Darnold. So I'm not like fluctuating between I'm using the span here, I'm doing days after here, like trying to make it fit. Like it's perfect. Just you don't even have to try to make it fit. It's just so perfect. So basically this proves that these people
Joey,
like
it's way beyond proven. The only people who don't get it at this point are morons. All right, I'm gonna let more people get in though. I appreciate it.
yeah, man. Peace.
All right, see you. What's up, 131?
What's up, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up? Can you look up Mike McDonald's signing date with the Seahawks?
I'll do that. As you bring that up, it reminds me that Sam Darnold signed with the Seahawks on the 12th anniversary of Pope Francis becoming the Pope right before he died. That was March 13th of last year. In light of him leading this 12 ritual. That was another thing that we knew about the 12s.
And then
okay, what day was Mike McDonald hired by the Seahawks?
I think 131-24.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl 131.
And then the prime.
Super Bowl 131. That was a oversight.
And then put that in the calculator.
But the 31st day of the year. So the NFC just picked up the 31st win in Super Bowls.
Mhm.
The Patriots just fell to 3-1 versus the NFC West in Super Bowls. And California's the 31st state. And of course, the whole Charlie Kirk thing, like Charlie Kirk
Yes.
at 31.
Can you put that in the calculator? And then
Put
check
what
the
in the
prime,
calculator?
the date, 1/31/24.
Do you mean numerology? The numerology of the date?
Like put it in the calculator, like 1/31/2024. The start date.
Oh, just measure from the date to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Today.
Okay. 1/31/2024 to today. 739 days or a span of 740?
The prime.
130. Wow, man, that was
And
an
then,
oversight. That was an oversight.
And then go in StatMuse.
Look
and
at
then,
that. That's crazy. Yeah, 131,
then-
Super Bowl 131. Boom.
And then go to StatMuse and then type in the Seahawks all-time record on until February 3rd, 2024. You know, the last Super Bowl.
Seahawks all-time record until February 3rd?
No, like since 2/3/14,
Since February
including
3rd,
playoffs. Including playoffs.
2014. That was the day they lost.
No,
that was the day
won.
they won Super Bowl 48.
Yes.
Yeah, got there. Did they update that already for the 131st win?
Yep.
Those were some oversights. That's good. That's good decoding. Yeah. Double 131 for the Super Bowl. And when the game was put away, Kenneth Walker was on 131 yards. And again, their kicker, God, I keep forgetting his name. Seahawks kicker. His name, Jason Myers, 131. Wow. Football, they call it. Yeah, those are some nice additions right there. Wow, that really puts the cherry on top. I should have caught those myself, but yeah, well done.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, yeah, you got a lot. That's a pretty awesome decode. I got to remember to get that in here. That adds to the anatomy of the script. We've always talked about Super Bowl in 131. So yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yep.
All right, well done.
All right.
Appreciate it. And he called himself 131. I love that. What's up, Luis?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going all right. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I just want to share a little observation that I saw during the game. Like the commercial previews before the first touchdown. Eventually, they put a little quick commercial of a farm with a barn on the back. And the next drive of the Seahawks, it was the AJ barn with a touchdown.
Barner. Yeah, like the farm, right? Yeah,
Like a barn. So, and I called it out in front of 5-6 people way before the touchdown minutes, like a minute and so before the touchdown. As soon as I saw the commercial, so like, wow, that's a great. So that's a predicted touchdown eventually. Then I just wanted to share it. Maybe probably some people saw it, but that's all, man. Great job. Good information that you shared. Thank you so much. And congratulations to the winners.
Beautiful observation, Luis. Yeah, from the farm to Barner. Yeah, it's a great catch. Right.
And yeah, it was just a couple seconds between two commercials, and I was like, wow, they put a farm right in the middle. Okay, barn. That was the first connection that I saw. I'm like, okay, boom, there you go. He's going to make the first touchdown. And he did it.
Yeah,
and that's all, man.
Done.
Thanks so much.
Done.
Hey, great call to the community, and let's keep going.
All right. Appreciate it, Luis.
Have a good one, man. All right, bye.
All right, we got Nappy Roots, Big Bud, Chris from Vegas, American Boy. What's up, Nappy Roots?
What's poppin', Zach?
What's up, man?
Thank you for all you do. I just wanted, who was that caller that was making the Star Wars connection? Because I think he had something on that. Because I looked up George Lucas' birthday, born May 14. He's 81 years old, so he's on the 82nd year of his life. He's from Modesto, and if everybody knows, in California, that's like 30, 40 minutes right outside the Bay. Oh, hold on. So they were talking about the Seahawks defense is like the dark side, and
right.
And when I measured like George Lucas' birthday, his last birthday to the Super Bowl, it's 271 days. Gets the 58th prime. I'm trying to figure out what that connection is there, but yeah, on that.
You said the 58th prime.
Yes.
Well, that's a huge number with the current Pope. Remember, Pope Leo XIV 58 became the Pope on May 8th. Seattle running all these the last 3 times new popes. Seahawks went to the Super Bowl. And Kobe Bryant's also 58, just with the whole anniversary of the Kobe statue. Kobe died on Pope, connected to Pope Francis. Remember, 58's the 41st composite. Kobe Bryant equals 58 and 41. Pope Francis equals 58. So all that stuff seems to work together. Yeah, that is interesting, though.
Yeah, and then I put his name in the Gematrinator. George Lucas equals 50, and I guess the dark side equals 50 as well. And his name, George Lucas, also equals 58. And if you put in his full name, George Walton Lucas, you get 72. So yeah, you get 90 as well. I know number 90 for the Seahawks was doing well. So it's kind of wild how they got this all connected.
It's what they do. It's a web. It's the world of entertainment news. It's all scripted together.
Oh yeah, and one more thing, I saw that George Mason Patriots game. I was kind of scared, to be honest, because guess the Hawks that they were playing, they scored 52, and
that was the threatening number for the that was the threatening number for the Patriots.
He got his 52-second loss, and then Darnold got his 52nd win. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But that's all I had. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, appreciate it, Nappy Roots.
No problem.
What's up, Big Bud?
What's up, Zach?
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. You?
Doing all right.
Good. No, man, I definitely don't claim to know the gematria like everybody else. I have been following you for about 10 years. I think I came about when you told us about the Father's Day thing when they reversed it on Steph Curry. That was classic. Yeah. So I know you remember that. But I had like a theory because I was like, they came out earlier in the year or last year, I don't remember, and they were saying all redheads are black. And then they have the redhead win the Super Bowl on a team that has to do with the Native Americans. So when I Google, like when I search all redheads are black, the top number is like 360. So it was kind of like, I was like, it's kind of like they came full circle on it or something. I don't know if they were playing off of that narrative, but I just want to run that by you to see if any of the numbers matched up with that or anything like that.
So, okay, I'm looking that up because that was new. I mean, I know the phrase getting beat like a red-headed stepchild, but I see this was a viral phrase in 2025 on TikTok. All redheads are black. So this season obviously is the 2025 season, even though it ends in 2026. And then also it says splintered off that as gingers are black. So Darnold would be considered a redhead or a ginger. And we know this is Black History Month, and we know how they like to stamp that 42 on Black History. We get 42 points. And they don't give you a black quarterback in the year of the black quarterback in the Super Bowl.
They kind of did, though.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Black referee, though. And you guys remember the slur, the NIGGER word equals 60 and 42. And 60 is the 42nd composite number. So I wasn't aware of that. You just brought something to my attention. And that's probably part of the joke. I didn't know.
That's what I'm saying, because I was like, when you said it, I was like, oh, man, what if this is the joke? Because they ran that for like a long time. Like, that was like...
Well, the Seahawks would have went 29 now fits in with that joke, too, because black equals 29. And just so... I didn't know about that. I didn't know about this viral TikTok, but I see it now that I just searched.
Yeah, and what I think is like, it seems like they've been like using a team against you, like where they had to like pull out all the stops because it's been like over the years. I noticed it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Like it's more in depth, and they're like doing like more things like this. That's kind of like you have to kind of watch further out to kind of try to catch it. You get what I'm saying?
You know what's weird? I see there's several articles dated from this same point, May 13th, which can be written 13-5. Walker, the MVP, at 135 yards. And then May 13th is also the 133rd day of the year, just because football is 133. So this looks like it was part of the script. And I didn't know about it. I'm learning this right now as you tell me. I did not know about that.
Got you, man. Yeah, but nah, that's what it is, Zach. I just want to run it by you because I just thought it was like when I saw it, I was like, no way that's what they went with. But I don't really know the numbers too good, so I just wanted to run that by you, man. So
I'm glad you did. The jokes are endless.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And honestly, I even noticed like the trolls, like they're kind of even like stepping back a little bit. It's trolly, but they can see that there's something going on here because it's ridiculous how things line up all the time. And on a year when, like you said, you hadn't even seen the whole all redheads are black. I mean, they had a whole campaign where all the redheads were coming out, leaving videos like, thank you so much, cousin. We're ready to be here. It was like a whole campaign. It was hilarious. And, you know, I don't know if you know gingers, a lot of times, like I had a friend, he had an afro like bigger than ours in school. And we would always be like, hey, man, you know, you're our cousin. We would tell him stuff like that. So when that whole campaign happened, I was like, that's crazy. Then I'm watching you and you're like, I don't know about the redheads. And it hit me right there. And I was like, you were like, I think you said, I don't know if a redhead ever won a Super Bowl yet. And I was like, oh my goodness, redheads, Seahawks, Joe. And when I saw it, I saw the 42. I was like, no way. I was like, that's crazy.
It is crazy. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. You learn something new every day, as they say. So I definitely learned something new today.
Alrighty. All right, Zach, man, let you get back to it.
All right, big bud. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right. What's up, Chris from Vegas?
Hey, what's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
Doing all right. What's up?
Hey, few things here. So I've been smashing them really hardcore, and I don't know if you remember or not. Only your integrity would know that I called in on week 3. I don't know if you remember or not. You might not remember. I did call in on week 3 and said that the Seahawks would probably win the Super Bowl. I gave 3 teams out. I said the Seahawks, the Patriots, and the Broncos on week 3. Probably don't have it. You might not even.
The Seahawks dropped the 44-13 score the day of the Charlie Kirk Memorial, the big shooting number. So, and 44 was a theme all season. I don't remember that, but I'm sure
You don't remember it, but a lot of people can go back to the video and can definitely get the call because it is there and the money's there. Look at this. So the money's there, bro. So let's just keep it simple and easy, and we're not going to keep it hard, and we're not going to keep it complicated. We're going to keep it straight to the truth. I called in. I wrote it down on a paper. I told you that the Seahawks are going to go make a Super Bowl. The Patriots or the Broncos are going to go. And guess what? Who went in? Who went in? Patriots and the Seahawks. Now, I also said this to all my members out there, guys. This is 15 grand, Zach, 15K, bro. Easy money. No big deal. Simple and easy. I can show this all day. It's no big deal. But to the haters that want to know and to the people that don't want to grow, it's all up to you. And it's all integrity on what you say and what you know. At the end of the day, we're going to keep it simple and easy. I called into your place and I said the Seahawks, the Broncos, or the Patriots could win the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, at the end of that call, when you go back to week 3, when I called in and I wrote it down, you told me this. And I know you're going to remember this. And I'm not being a hater and I'm not being an asshole. I'm going to say that you told me this, bro. Well, the Chargers and the Lightning strike at 25-1. I probably like the Chargers. I'm not too sure about the Seahawks and the Patriots. This is what you told me, bro. You really did. You said it on live. I don't know about
We'll have to
those,
go
but I
back and
do like.
listen. We'll have to go
You
back and
did
listen.
like the Chargers. Hey, stop. Let me just talk. It's simple and easy. I'm not trying to hate you. I'm not hating on you. I'm your
We
buddy,
know,
bud.
Chris, a lot of people in the community know that you are a scammer, though. So anyway, Chris has a known reputation for scamming. So again, he begs to be on my Patreon and promote himself. We'll go back and listen to the tape. So anyway, what's up, American boy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, awesome. What's up, man? Yeah, I'm one of your OG followers, and I love your work for all these years. And I hate that they deleted most of your channels because I remember shit that a lot of people don't remember. And I remember a long time ago, you were saying that Donald Trump represents the Raven a long time ago. And you look at the coach for the Seahawks, who was a former coach of the Ravens, a defensive coordinator, and we all know that the Ravens historically have given the Patriots a hard time in the playoffs and throughout like Bill Belichick's career. And Bill Belichick, loves Ed Reed, who wears number 20, stuff like that. I feel like there's a weird connection between the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Ravens, and the 49ers. And I remember in 2015 when you were talking about the Panthers, going to the Super Bowl against the Broncos and uh, the San Francisco Stadium, and you were saying that there could be a Black Panther tribute. Cam Newton's gonna probably fall to the what you call the Broncos in San Francisco. And the year after the Panthers lost the Super Bowl, Kaepernick took a knee and pretty much lost his career. And he played for the 49ers. So it's like these Super Bowls are predicting like future events to a degree. And with the whole Hispanic thing, with the whole war that's going on with like the ICE, you notice that with the Patriots, Gonzalez was like the best player on the team who was Hispanic, playing for New England. He was the only one that had a good game for the Patriots. Everybody else kind of sucked. What should we call it? Forgot what it was. I was about to say. Aaron Hernandez, who played for the Patriots, was the one who went to jail. It's like a connection there. That's what I'm saying. And it's like a war.
For
I don't
people
know.
who forgot, Aaron Hernandez found murdered in his jail cell or dead in his jail cell the day the Patriots went to the White House with Trump. And TMZ had the headline that Illuminati was written on blood in the wall. And Illuminati literally has the same gematria as Donald Trump. And again, he's in the Illuminati card game. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's weird because like when I hear people talk, it's like I don't think they remember all your videos, but you're saying a lot of shit that like it's that predicted the future. I'm like, that's actually kind of like remarkable because it's like it's not easy to predict something like that with the Huey P. Newton connection, and then literally Kaepernick takes a knee the next year, who plays for the 49ers, and pretty much his career gets ended. I'm like, that's a little strange. And then I noticed with the Sam Darnold thing, I heard the other guy talk about Sam Darnold and the redhead, which is kind of weird because Andy Dalton was a redhead too, who played for the Panthers like Sam Darnold, and they both wore 14. And Andy Dalton was to replace Cam Newton, just like Sam Darnold was when they got to the Panthers. So that's a little weird. And it's the teams that Andy Dalton played for. Not Andy Dalton was saying Sam Darnold played for, the Jets, in which that's how Tom Brady got his career started after Mo Williams hit Drew Bledsoe. What else did he play for? The 49ers, the stadium he ended up playing in the Super Bowl for, with. And then I don't know about the Vikings connection so much. I'll probably look into it. But like I noticed all the teams that Sam Darnold played for is kind of like connected to the Super Bowl. And then he goes to USC. USC, the Trojans, is a war team. It's like America's having a war with Hispanics. You're seeing the connections. Like they're kind of telling you what they're doing through the game, through the teams. And to me, that's kind of weird. 'Cause I'm like, it's kind of like another race war. I kind of noticed probably. Anytime the Patriots play the Super Bowl, with a team, um, that's the what do you call it? God, I'm lost. I should have wrote this down. I'm walking right now, but I want to write this down. I didn't expect to get on live today, but I'm about to probably start getting on live because I can make connections pretty well, and I remember a lot of your stuff you said. So I don't know. I don't know if you remember when you said that Trump represents the Raven or not. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember that because I remember years ago the Army Navy game. Trump went on the Army Navy game and like was a commentator with the guys, and I think Navy or Army, one of those teams didn't win that game, and Edgar Allan Poe had I think the game winning touchdown. I don't know if you remember that game. It was like in 2015, 2016. It was before Trump got elected. I don't know, but it's weird that Mike McDonald wins the Super Bowl against the Patriots, one of Trump's favorite teams. So I'm like, I think there's a connection there, with the war, death, stuff like that. But I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like I said, it is one big web. There's a lot of ritualism going on. So
yeah. I don't know. It's like it's something to do. I don't know. There could be like a clue for like the Ravens next year. I don't know because the death, the whole thing. But I think it's going to predict something for this year coming up or this season coming up with like the whole ritual thing. But I don't know. Like I probably look into it more, the whole Hispanic and the Americana thing. And you go on YouTube, you see a lot of racist people saying that they don't want to look at the Bad Bunny halftime show because they couldn't understand what he was saying. And you were saying something earlier about that, like how Seattle is a liberated city and they beat the Patriots. So I'm like that's probably something to it. It's like they're playing this whole not gender war, but just like liberals versus conservative. And you see a lot of it like in our day and age now. So it's like, oh yeah, that's what I want to say too. I know I don't know if this is something, but like these past two Super Bowls, it's been like revenge Super Bowls. Like the Eagles got revenge on the Chiefs this year. The Seahawks get revenge on the Patriots. Like you think that's like some sort of like connection? You think that means something? Like I don't know. It's kind of like weird. We get two back-to-back rematches that are both blowouts, that are both defensive games, that are both revenge games to the teams they lost to in heartbreak fashion between the Seahawks and the Eagles. Both bird teams, both birds of prey, which sometimes certain fighter jets can represent bird of prey. I don't know if there's a connection there, if you notice it's a connection there. I mean, that's just me. Hello? Hello? You hear me? Oh shit. I don't know what happened. My
we had just had a power outage here, but the power is back. And while the power was out, I was thinking more about what the caller just said about gingers. Look at this, you guys. This thing about, hold on. Gingers are black. Look at this. I mean, I can't believe this, man. I didn't hear anything. I guess I got to get on TikTok. I guess TikTok's setting the trends. Look at the gematria of ginger, you guys. Ginger, 60 and 42. Dalton's considered a ginger. Super Bowl 60 is won by a ginger with 42 total points in the score. Again, 60 is the 42nd composite. And again, the racial slur has the 60 and 42. Actually, it's crazy. Look at this. That word, duh, because it's a reshuffling of the same letters. Of course, it has the same gematria value. It's just it's an anagram for the slur. You know what I mean? Wow. Crazy. All right. Yeah, it is getting late. I will drop the link again, but yeah, we just had a power outage here, so I had to wait for everything to boot back up. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about this trend. I had no idea about the TikTok gingers are black thing, and I'm just, God, it's unbelievable. And whoever set this viral trend is part of it. On the 133rd day of the year, it's getting recognition in the headlines. What's up, Punk Rock?
Hey Zach, that headline on ESPN, how the Seahawks' dominant defense took down the Patriots. You might want to run the gematria on defense. It equals 31, and that moves pure,
Yeah,
like Charlie Kirk, like
yeah.
the NFC
31st win for the NFC. Yeah. Yeah, the 31-point blowout in week 3, the week of the Charlie Kirk Memorial in the stadium where Super Bowl 49 happened. No doubt that was a major clue. And 44 theme all year. The NFL season began with the shooting at the NFL headquarters in the 44-story building in New York, where the police commissioner was the spokesperson, and her father owns the Giants, which is where the Seahawks won their only Super Bowl 4 in their stadium. So.
Didn't they say that shooter in that headquarters came from Nevada or something, where the Raiders are?
Yeah, he did.
Yo, that caller that was calling in about the AJ Barner thing with the farm commercial.
Yes.
Yeah, the farm thing, man. Like you have Mike McDonald as the coach. Like old McDonald had a farm.
That's true. Yeah, EIO. Indeed.
And that's what that was about. That was about him. And because like they'll put up this little visual, and then they'll like take you through a time lapse almost, and then because they were going over how Mike McDonald got to that point of his career where he ended up as the Seahawks head coach at 38 years old. And next thing you know, AJ Barner's in the end zone. And yeah, the other guy though that was talking about how it was 739 days, the 131st prime after Mike McDonald had signed as head coach on 1/31. What's his name? Mike Vrabel. He signed with the Patriots on January 13th, and that date could be written 13/1, like 131.
Mike Vrabel signed on which date?
January 13th.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Yeah, they beat up the Super Bowl. Yeah. And the 113 went with the Cole Kobe thing too. So.
Mm-hmm. Did we see how it factored in with Chief Seattle at all?
Well, Chief Seattle gave his famous speech about all things being connected on March 11th. So.
That was the. Oh wait, no. Sam Darnold signed with the team on March 13th.
Yeah, this Dick Hammer thing was also a big tribute. The 54-72 Santa Clara thing. So. Yeah, quite interesting.
From Chief Seattle's death anniversary to the season beginning is 89 days later. The 24th prime and Seahawks equals 24. From Washington's birthday, Washington State, to the Super Bowl is 89 days.
Yeah, that is also interesting. And again, just it being 14 days before George Washington's birthday, as Darnold gets to 1-4 with 14 working the game. Yeah, a lot of little and we looked at a lot of this stuff. We knew it was there. It's just the 41, man, it's a hard number to fade. It's gotten it done over and over, but I guess 41 just ain't what it used to be. So
I always think about that 739 thing. So next year, we'd like that one team, but that owner had died February 6th of last year, Virginia McCaskey.
yeah.
From her death to next year's Super Bowl on February 14th is 739 days later, the 131st prime.
From her death to next year's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we've already been saying the Bears just make too much sense. So
Yeah. And what you think the Browns could shock everybody?
the Browns, they would shock everybody. I forget what I was saying about them because there's Cleveland Browns 61.
Shador Sanders equals 61.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And Shador equals 109, and Sanders equals 109. And the season next year begins on 10-9.
All right, here, here you guys. Let's just see it real quick. Let's see. From her death to that Super Bowl, is it 739, the 131st prime? He just said it is. Let's just confirm it. February 6, 2024 to February 14th. Or no, 2025, my bad. February 14th. Next year, the Super Bowl's, the Super Bowl's on the 45th day of the year. Like Bears was 45 too. Oops. Yes, yeah, it's a span of 739. Yeah, how about that? 131st prime.
And
Bears.
I looked into her a little more, and she took over as the Bears owner in their 61st year of life, and her father, George Hollis, he died on the day leaving 61 days left in the year.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm already doing research on next year, and of course we had that Brown University shooting, and that team name of their mascot is the Bears, the Brown Bears. Like the Browns. And didn't the Bears beat the Browns the day of the Brown shooting?
It was the Bears and the Browns. Because Brown University has the Bears. Yeah. Bears beat the Browns to become 10-4, and the Bills beat somebody to become 10-4, and it was all synced up with OJ.
The Patriots. They beat the Patriots that day.
Yeah, they beat the Patriots. That's right. And OJ died on the 10th day of the 4th month. If you guys missed that whole ritual that weekend, the Brown shooting was the night of the Heisman, you guys. The Heisman Trophy is named after a guy who went to Brown. OJ. And don't forget, the Bills were staying across the street from Brown University. They had to shelter in place, reportedly. But then right after that, the next day, there was the stabbing of
Rob Reiner,
whose name equals 104, in Brentwood, where OJ supposedly stabbed Nicole Brown. And that was 613 days after OJ died, who was a Heisman winner, who went to USC like Caleb Williams. And that's LA, like where, Caleb Williams next year probably going to be in that Super Bowl in LA. Again, Caleb Williams' season, you guys, it ended 61 days after his birthday versus the Rams, who were hosting Super Bowl 61, and that's the 18th prime, like Bears 18, like where's number 18? But yeah, that would be something. Wow, talk about a future that'd pay a ton. Browns, Bears, that would be I guess it'd be a lot like the Patriots with their major rebound season.
I
Um,
was just thinking too, if the Super Bowl's on the 45th day of the year, Trump was number 45 and he held his first convention in
In
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I like the Bears. The Browns do have a leg to stand on with that Brown Bears shooting. Yeah, that is interesting.
I guess the last thing I want to say is the season next year begins on it's the 107th season, begins on 10/9.
I got Jim Brown. Jim Brown
He
died
died
before
in
the
LA,
104th
where the
season.
Super Bowl is next year. He died in LA.
And Jim Brown equals 104. He died before the 104th season got underway, with just that 104 theme that came out of that Brown shooting and what happened the next day. Jim Brown 104, Rob Reiner 104. Yeah, if you guys forgot that, I know it is the United States of Amnesia. Let me go back to that week 15. The Brown University, they're the Bears. So the Bears beat the Browns the next day. Again, the Heisman too, just Caleb Williams Heisman winner, but 10-4, and the Bills beat the Patriots, do the 10-4 thing. And the Bills would be the other team to think about, since they moved together with again, Bears and Bills are the teams that equal 18 for Super Bowl 61, the 18th prime. So
Yeah. What do you think about money equaling 27 and the Buffalo equals 27 and next year's 2027? Because they are the bills, like dollar bills.
yeah, that's a interesting thought.
Yeah, but the last thing I was going to say is that next year's the 107th NFL season, it begins on 10/9, shooting 107 forwards, 109 in reverse. And the Super Bowl is on the anniversary of that shooting at Parkland High School. And this Brown University shooting is seemingly connected. So next year's going to have a huge shooting theme. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I imagine, and just like that, the Brown thing was a shooting, if that was the storyline. So
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was also a 109, 107 shooting ritual, and he had a lot to do with this year's Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys forgot the State Farm thing, it was 106 days after the State Farm anniversary of establishment, or the 107th day of its age, that they had the Charlie Kirk Memorial in this 106th season. As the Seahawks went 106 days from their GM and got to 106 points in Super Bowl scored.
Yeah. 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 I saw I wanted to come up here and add.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow on Patreon.
Good research. Good thinking as always. All right. Have a good night. All right. Some ideas for Super Bowl 61. What's up? Open up.
Yeah, what's up, Zach? Not too much to speak on, but I just wanted to bring up, did you watch the halftime show?
I saw some of it. I noticed they brought Lady Gaga out, which I thought was interesting, because she was in the Super Bowl 9 years ago while the score was 9-0.
Yeah, something interesting that they showed in there, and it kind of goes with what Richard just sent in his super chat. But I don't know which song it was, but he did perform the Blackout song. I don't know which one it is, because I don't know about Bad Bunny. But there was a point during the halftime show where they showed power lines going out, which, it looks like it's foreshadowing a blackout that's coming up soon.
Was it actually something they did, or because I noticed it looked like they kind of had some scenes in there for the TV audience? Was it one of those things?
Yeah, so like there was a part in the halftime show where there were, I guess, dancers hanging from power lines, and then you could see the power lines like spark or explode. I guess that's the part where they go off, and then
wasn't Kendrick Lamar sitting on light poles in the last one too?
I don't know. I don't remember. Probably.
But just remind me of the Super Bowl 47, the Harbaugh Bowl, there was a power outage, and there was a power outage recently in San Francisco 50 days before the game, like San Francisco's 50.
Yeah. But the other interesting part about it is the Super Bowl logo. I don't know if maybe someone called in about this before, but the color scheme is kind of like the emergency broadcast TV screen. Did you notice that? It has like the rainbow colors. Like if you Google emergency broadcast TV screen, you go to images, it's kind of like the yellow, red, pink screen that comes up when there's an emergency. And that's kind of the color scheme of the Super Bowl logo. So I thought it was kind of interesting. You know, the blackout song that was performed, they showed the power lines going out in the halftime show. So probably something to look into the future. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know you've been talking about it for a while. So it looks like it's getting closer to the big one, because I know we've had smaller ones. We have smaller ones like the CrowdStrike, the Microsoft one, but I think a bigger scale one is coming up soon.
Just pulling this up, there's also the old school one where that commercial
Oh
they did
yeah,
for
the Coinbase
crypto.
commercial. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like that. And they kept putting yeah over it after we just had the death of Lil Jon's son when they just performed the yeah song 2 years ago at the Super Bowl on the Vatican's birthday.
Right. Yeah, and that Coinbase commercial is kind of weird because the way that they did it, you would have probably never known that it was going to be about Coinbase the way that they set it up. But I mean,
Right.
that's just another, I guess, another signal to the digital dollar that's quickly approaching. But yeah, that's all I wanted to bring up. So something.
Well, I was just about to say, okay, because I was just starting to read, and then I get to the next thing. Puerto Rico's had tons of power outages lately. And again, Puerto Rico we use as a military territory, but we don't give it statehood. So that's what he was. So they say that's what it was about. But yeah, maybe that is foreshadowing something greater. The year that San Francisco Ravens had the 34-minute blackout on the 34th day of the year where the Ravens won with 34 points. Like they won both their Super Bowls with 34 points. Maryland equals 34. The 49ers had a blackout in a primetime game. I remember that year too. I want to say it was Monday Night Football and the power went out at the stadium. And they were talking about how that was before they moved to Santa Clara. I think they were still at Candlestick that year. And they were saying how they, the old park was starting to have some problems. So yeah, maybe we're again, Janet Napolitano, 2013. Wasn't that the 2013 Super Bowl 47? That was 2013. Janet Napolitano, when she stepped down in 2013, I think that was right after that Super Bowl. She said the next 9/11 is not if but when, and it's the grid going down. We know Public Enemy put out the album "What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down." Yeah, so something's up. You're right.
Yeah, in the chat, Gabe, he put in a good reminder because this NFL season there was a big story about the power plant that's by the Niners Stadium that was supposedly causing players to get injured. So that's another, I guess, another piece of it. But yeah, that's all I wanted to bring up. Appreciate you taking the call.
All right, good thoughts as always, man. Yeah, this was covered on NBC, also the Super Bowl. Injuries, energy fields, and the strange theory that has made its way to the Super Bowl. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right, I'm going to drop the link one more time. If anybody else wants to hop on, now is the time. I'm going to just run over some headlines real quick, see if there's anything else that stands out. Walker named Super Bowl MVP first running back to win since 98. Patriots and New England Patriots equals 98. So is Tom Brady doing it versus the Patriots. I wonder if that was the actual 98 Super Bowl or the 98 season. Terrell Davis. So that's interesting. Yeah, Broncos, because Broncos won the last Super Bowl in San Francisco. And yeah, oh, God, man. Okay. Look at this, you guys. When Kenny Easley died, I said it had something clearly to do with Denver, and I thought it was about the only Super Bowl the Seahawks won because he died on the 303rd day of his age, which is the Denver area code. And now Kenneth Walker, you could call it Kenny Easley was also Kenneth. But Kenny Easley, number 45, dies this year at 66. Again, New England equals 45. New England falls to 6-6 in Super Bowls. And Number 45 died on the day, leaving 47 days left in the year. That feels like a tribute to Trump, right? He died on November 14th. And he died on the 303rd day of his age. That's that's the Denver area code. Terrell Davis, the last running back to win. Denver. Again, his full name 206, like the Seattle area code, like how the kicker for the Seahawks set a record with 206 points, a double 206. I mean, Seattle, their other Super Bowl, Russell Wilson had 206 passing yards in the game. And if you don't remember, it's easy to look up. Just type in Super Bowl 48 box score. Russell Wilson, there it is, 206 yards. They beat Denver, Terrell Davis, last running back. And again, Denver won the last one in Super Bowl 50. It's just the way they do it. It's they're really good at just the rituals they do are it's really awesome the way they do it. It's disgusting and awesome all at once, and it's sick how they murder people. But yeah, the other thing I pointed out about Kenny Easley is I said he has died 86 days before the Super Bowl on February 2026. Again, this was my public stream. I put out all this information, and Broncos 86. Broncos also 40. They kept the Patriots picked up their 40th postseason, went over the Broncos, and they stayed on 40. Of course, the Broncos also won Super Bowl 32. And by the way, just about picking up on clues in the game, have you guys ever seen a punch thrown in a football game and no penalty flag? Because number 29 punched Diggs in the game. I mean, they even showed it and no flag. And then they showed Vrabel was annoyed about it. Again, signs like that, you can just tell who's meant to win the game. I was saying, man, if Tom Brady was on the field, they probably would have thrown two 15-yard penalties. They would have moved them 30 yards up the field. What's up, Rich?
Hey, what's up, Zach? I wanted to add on about that comment that I just made about Bad Bunny, right? If you write out today's date in word form, it equals 911, and that's the 156 prime number, and Bad Bunny's full birth name equals 156.
Just to be clear, the song came out 177 weeks before the Super Bowl today?
It came out on September 16th, the day leaving 106 days left in the year.
Yeah, perfect.
September 16th, 2022.
Yeah, perfect.
And I know you were just talking about that the other day with the Bible verse, wasn't it 16:9? Drake May, his favorite Bible verse.
Right, and they were down 9 at the half and lost by 16.
Yeah, and that it ties in with 9/11 because the same firm that built the World Trade Center is the same firm that constructed Levi Stadium, correct?
Correct. Magnus and Clementic Associates, right?
Yeah, and then they're out of Seattle, but I don't know if you saw, but if you can pull it up, this song actually is 3 minutes and 22 seconds. 3 minutes and 22 seconds, like 3:22.
Yeah, I'm getting it up right here. I see it.
Yeah, and
is all of Bad Bunny's music in Spanish?
Yeah, it's all in Spanish.
I see. So that's why there were so many people complaining, because they knew it was going to be all Spanish. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's all in Spanish. So the English translation, right, is it's the blackout, right? It's the blackout. And that equals 179, which is the 41st prime number.
Super Bowl, right? Did he perform? He performed this song tonight?
I think so. I believe this is the only song that he has. It's called The Blackout.
All right, let's see. It would make sense because, I mean, the power outage was a big theme with Super Bowl 47 in that season. And again, there was a blackout in San Francisco 50 days for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, San Francisco 50.
Mike Vrabel, who wore 50, was 50 for this Super Bowl. It says, yeah, he performed the song today.
Yep.
And I see something about just reading about this song. It says on May 2nd, 2022, Bad Bunny announced his 5th studio album, which this song is on. It's track 16, like we got a 16-point win. Mm-hmm. But 52, that's one of those.
Pope, right?
But power outage. Yeah, power outage is 52 and 56. There's some other power stuff. It's been a minute. Okay, so it mentions May 2nd, and then it says on May 6th. The song was released alongside. So power outage is 52 and 56, like May 2nd and May 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Interestingly enough, it was 151 days after Charlie Kirk got shot too, because I see power outage also 151. Stephon Diggs 146 pick, who had considered
Jesus
a bad
Christ.
game.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
140.
yeah. The Jesus Christ thing matters because when Stephon Diggs had the Minnesota Miracle for the 61 yards, we were talking about that. How
Yeah.
Jesus Christ is 146 and Jesus is 61, and so is Miracle. The Minnesota Miracle was Stephon Diggs years ago.
Yep. And there's all this Charlie Kirk stuff too.
Today has 56 date numerology as well to go with that May 6th thing.
Yeah. And of course 9/11 had a lot to do with 41.
And symbolically, we just had a short power outage here. How about that?
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's all I wanted to add into there. There's obviously more to that 9/11. But yeah, February 8th, if you write out, it equals 9/11 in
Janet
Jewish gematria.
Napolitano, she said the next 9/11 is not if but when she stepped down from the Department of Homeland Security.
Did Ricky Martin, by chance, because I didn't watch the halftime performance show, but did Ricky Martin come out there with Bad Bunny as well?
I don't know because I didn't see all of it.
Okay, well, if so, Ricky Martin does equal 60 in gematria.
Ricky Martin, was he supposed to be out there?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I have to go back and see, but I seen people talking about it.
Yeah, Janet Napolitano in 2013. So this was real close to the blackout at the Super Bowl.
Okay, I'm seeing comments that people are saying Ricky Martin was there. Okay, yeah, Ricky Martin does equal 60.
Yeah, I just remember 2013 because I was talking about that in a big way at the time, the power outage and what Janet Napolitano said when she stepped down from the Department of Homeland Security.
Yep. And then the 177 weeks goes with George W. Bush or George H.W. Bush giving his New World Order speech 11 years to the day of September 11th.
Yeah, lots of crazy things happening in the world and stirring things up. All kinds of people to blame a cyber attack on that could take the grid down.
I'm thinking California because I mean this Super Bowl was in California, so I'm thinking California might get it. Remember a couple years ago it was Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking California. I'm thinking Bay Area. Bay Area, it's big tech land.
She issued the warning 10 days before that Super Bowl that year. And it was Super Bowl 47. Here we are in the time of number 47.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And we just had the death of the Three Doors Down singer at 47.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I had to add. I just figured I'd comment about that. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. He performed that song out of all songs at the Super Bowl today. I mean, I think that's foreshadowing what's to come. And I say California better watch out.
Yeah, like I always say, man, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. But yeah, everyone should always have a good supply around in case something crazy does happen. A little bug out bag.
Yep. Keep a generator on hand. Just in case, keep a generator on hand.
Yeah, there's cheaper generators that you can charge with solar panels that could keep your fridge going for a few days or your food doesn't spoil. Worst case scenario, this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It turns stuff out and if it's solar, I mean, you can always charge it back up too. That's what's nice. If you have a gas generator and you can afford that, it's another option. Those are usually a little more expensive.
Yeah. I'd say the Bay Area just needs to watch out in general, just in light of that. I mean, and then just the title of it too, Blackout, and just have it in Spanish too, because I know most people don't understand Spanish. So, I'm thinking that's part of the joke as well.
Yeah. So,
all right, Zach. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yep.
What's up, number one Steelers fan?
Let's get one more, Dre. One more, man. That's it.
I don't know what that was. All right, last call, and if we don't have anybody else, we're gonna wrap it up. Dropping the link one last time. But yeah, those of you guys who can't see through the script and think all this stuff's a coincidence when I'm telling you the same numbers over and over and how big 19 is in Seattle, and you see them up 19-0 on the anniversary of the 19-foot tall Kobe Bryant statue. They got a Kobe Bryant on the team. I don't know. There really isn't any hope for you. Yeah, again, they had to announce that Mike McCarthy, who's from Pittsburgh, is going to become the head coach of the Steelers right before the conference championships, when the last time there was an all-Mike Super Bowl was Super Bowl 45, as they set the over-under at 45.5 and the spread 4.5. And they did pay tribute to that 45 with the 19-7 score. Again, 197, the 45th prime. As we talked about, Charlie Kirk, born 197 days after the Patriots changed their logo. The only time Brady played in Seattle was on Kirk's 19th birthday, who was a big theme of this season, who had the memorial in the stadium where Super Bowl 49 was played, where it ended at the goal line with the interception. Yeah, you look at that week 3. Here, let's just go through that week 3 again, the week of the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Again, it's always easier to put the things together in hindsight. But even before they had the Memorial, the first Thursday game that week, the Bills scored 31. And it's funny they played the Dolphins because, again, the Miami Seahawks were the original Seahawks franchise that became the Baltimore Colts. We know Jim Irsay of the Colts died 106 days before the season kicked off. The Browns honored Charlie Kirk and had the biggest upset of the weekend, beating the Packers. They were a big dog. Something to think about with that. The Colts did put up 41 that week. Probably a clue about the Super Bowl. Miami Seahawks. Look at who scored 41 that week, the week of the Charlie Kirk Memorial. The Colts. Again, the Miami Seahawks became the Baltimore Colts that are now the Indianapolis Colts. And the other team that put up 41 that week was the other Washington team. So Washington State ends up winning the Super Bowl, the 41 event. And the two teams that had 41 have those leads. Again, Seahawks won the game by 31 against the Saints, who hosted the Super Bowl last year. And what's interesting is the Saints' new coach this year is from Washington State. He's from Prosser, Washington. So a new NFL coach was added from Washington State, who goes on to win the Super Bowl. Prosser's not far from where the Cup family's from in Yakima. Obviously, Cooper Kupp, Washington native, had a big game. But yeah, Seahawks win by 31 with the shooting number 44. And don't forget who circled all the kill dates at the start of the year last year. We had September 10th circled at the beginning of the year, but the kill date is the date numerology that has September 10th, 2025 had date numerology of 64, 44, and 28. Like kills 64, 44, and 28, but shooting is also 44 and 109. September 10th can be written 10-9. That was the day Charlie Kirk was shot. So yeah, Seattle, 44 city. And don't forget, you had the 44-story building with the NFL headquarters get shot up in the offseason, just as about the preseason games are about to get underway. But yeah, Seahawks were the team that put up 44, winning by 31. Charlie Kirk dead at 31. NFC picks up the 31st postseason win in California, the 31st state, dropping the Patriots to 3-1 versus the NFC West in Super Bowls. And Drake May, I suppose, and the Patriots fell to 3-1 in the playoffs. But yeah, all those games at the end of the night, the Memorial in the State Farm Stadium. The State Farm guy, Mahomes, ends up winning that night 22-9, 31 points. 49ers, who hosted the Super Bowl, played the Cardinals, where the event was at the Cardinal Stadium, 31 combined points. The 16 stands out too, right? Because the deciding score tonight, 16 points. Charlie Kirk's hometown scores 31. And the Cardinals are also from Chicago originally. The Seahawks won by 31. What did the Rams do? Because 3 of the NFC West games had to do with 31. The Eagles, 33-26. Okay, that was the NFC West game that didn't have the 31 connection. But the Steelers did beat the Patriots with 21. The Seahawks played the first Pope Bowl versus the Steelers, the second one versus the Broncos, and the latest versus the Patriots. So it is interesting how they were facing each other. But yeah, that's what I mean. Just they're laying riddles, and week 3 every year. I say I've been a broken record about this. A lot of times we figured out the Super Bowl in week 3, and yeah, I could say I did a pretty bad job overlooking it. I had a hunch there. I mean, part of the problem was I was locked into the wrong idea preseason. I thought because the Eagles broke up the three-peat, maybe them being Kobe's hometown, had they had a three-peat, they would have been able to do it in LA, Kobe, Philly, LA, like Will Smith. But obviously that didn't happen with them getting knocked. And we knew they were in big trouble versus the Niners this year. 135 is a number you just don't doubt in Philly. And there's so many reasons why, but the Eagles, when they beat the Niners, became 13-5 for the year. Fly Eagles fly 135. Kobe Bean Bryant, really a million other things. It goes back to this. It's biblical. The key of David is mentioned in the letter to the Church of Philadelphia in Revelation. And just so many rituals with 135. When Bryce Harper joined Phillies, it was 135 days from his birthday. When Carson Wentz had the rookie passing record, it was 135 completions without an interception. And a million other things. You know, even schools like Villanova, just outside Philly, have the 135 connection. Huge number with Philly sports. But yeah, maybe just nobody is meant to three-peat in the NFL. Brady didn't do it, and if you never know. I mean, if they intend to keep Brady as this all-time idol for NFL, it could be 100 years from now, and they're still talking about Brady, and no one did what Brady did. If Brady didn't three-peat, maybe nobody three-peats in the NFL. So, but yeah. Writing that idea, which was wrong, probably kept me from seeing, like, had I come in neutral, I might have really been thinking about this a lot more fresh. Like, well, Charlie Kirk, man, here's the big shooting number. It's just the one thing that's hard is like, okay, Charlie Kirk, there's some weird contradiction because Seattle's a mega liberal city, which is the opposite of Charlie Kirk. That is the weird angle with that. It's just like, it's almost counterintuitive, but that is how they did it. 2 liberal cities, the 2 most liberal cities in America, no doubt about it. San Francisco and Seattle. The Spanish, the Patriots die. Yeah, there's definitely some message meaning there. Levi Stadium. Oh, the highway that Levi Stadium's on is CA 82 too. Perfect. As you get these 282. Yeah, the roads matter a lot, man. No one knows. That's why you're local. All right. Anyway, we don't have anybody else trying to hop on, but we will leave it there for now. Again, remember the phrase, wise men hedge their bets. Use the numbers for the clues. There's ways to construct small wagers with big payouts. And just like I talked about, the 41 was there for the Patriots, the true Super Bowl number, but the 12 was there in a big way for the Seahawks. That's why my advised hedge bet, if you take the Patriots, was also take the Seahawks to win by 12 plus for their 12th win versus the Patriots. Again, they got to 12-9. And the last major death reported, the guy's name equaled 129. RIP, the young MLB star. And don't forget, Laidlaw. Laidlaw announced dead too. Super Bowl 12 star. And, well, I mean, just look how they do this stuff, you guys. Look what, it's just sick how they do this. Scott Laidlaw, dead at 72. Santa Clara, 72. Super Bowl 12. And his name does equal New England Patriots forwards and backwards, but look, born on 2/17. And think about it, number 21, punching the ball out, picked up by 7 to put him up 21. We knew that was going to be big on the game. But dead January 29th. So think about that. So 217 goes with the Patriots. 129 goes with the Seahawks, who became 12-9 versus the Patriots. They choose people. It's that phrase, your number's up. They choose people who have the numbers. It's sick how they do it. And also, the Super Bowl 60 champion who just died, Sonny. Wilmington, North Carolina, where he's from. The college team there is the Seahawks. He was the 1960 champion. He played for Philadelphia and Washington, the other Washington, the Redskins, who are now the Commanders. Remember, they renamed the Commanders in their 91st season. His name, Super Bowl, forwards and backwards, Jorgensen, his surname. But dead at 91 from Wilmington, North Carolina, home of the Seahawks, the college team. Sonny has a lot of overlap with Seahawks. And again, NFL champion 1960. Did it with a different bird team, the Eagles, but also played for the other Washington team. Let me check something out here with Cooper Kupp's grandfather. And the weird thing about Cooper Kupp's grandfather is he now lives in my old house. Hold on. It's interesting. I had a long conversation. We've actually had multiple conversations now. But I didn't tell him when they bought the house what I did, but when I moved out, my neighbor told him what I did, and then he really wanted to talk about it. His wife, though, was leaning like a lot towards it. She's like, I don't know, Jake. I always thought some funny business was going on with the games. And he said, I swear to God, if there wasn't any funny business going on, I had no clue. Again, Jake Kupp is the grandfather of Cooper Kupp, who went to University of Washington, Seattle. Drafted by the Cowboys was he. He played for Dallas, Washington, New Orleans. It's interesting because it's interesting how Kellen Moore, who's from a town, Sunnyside, where the Cupps are from, is right next to Prosser, where Kellen Moore's from. And the Seahawks did waste the Saints, who had the new Washington coach, the week of the KIRK shooting. And by the way, you know what? Out here, where these towns are, we're on Interstate 82, and it's high desert out here east of the mountains. So when you think of like Washington with all the greenery, it's not like that when you go east of the mountains. It looks like California. It's just like brown rolling hills. They set the hills on fire this summer, synced up with Kellen Moore's birthday. It was the 25th day of his age, like fire's 25, like he's the new coach for 2025. And it's still, it's the grass is still growing back, but the hills are all black and gold around here. Like literally looks like the Saints colors where they set it up. There were 4 fires in the area all in one day, including at Kellen Moore's old high school. And again, he's coaching the Saints. So this was another clue in hindsight. Saints equals 82 and 19, just like Seattle. And don't forget, Cootie's 19 started in Seattle, and Sean Payton, who was the coach of the Saints then, was the first coach with Cootie's 19. If you forgot that, you can go back and look. But yeah, the Saints got wasted by Seattle the weekend of the Charlie Kirk Memorial, while shortly after the fires all along I-82. And now you tell me that 82 is also the route next to the Levi's Stadium. I got to really start looking at some maps from now on when there's a Super Bowl. What roads are going around there? But yeah, that's why trying to explain this stuff to normies it's just too much. It's just like, what? They're setting fires, Rich? Yeah, they are. They are. And you know what else is weird about Kellen Moore? They changed his birthday. They've done that with a lot of celebrities. They did that with Lamar Jackson. When he was at Louisville, his birthday was the same as Muhammad Ali's. Remember, Muhammad Ali got the 19-mile funeral procession. Lamar Jackson was the story of the nation at age 19. When he went in the NFL, they shifted Lamar Jackson's birthday online by 10 days. So, all right. Kubiak confirms he's taking the Raiders job. Tom Brady, part owner there. Off-season shooting started. The driver came from Vegas. I'm just going to see if there's anything about that. He's 38 years old, like the coach of the Seahawks. Today'd be the 357th day of his age, 356. He went to Minnesota like Darnold. Raiders in Seattle have history because it was a Seahawk who hurt Bo Jackson back when they played in the AFC West. Everything they do is ritualism. You catch the ritual, you do the right decode. Like the guy who called in and he blew it out of the water with got so many damn tabs open. You guys missed it earlier. I gotta highlight that guy's call. It was the call of the stream. I wish he would have called into the stream before. Where is it at? Where is it at? I got to hit that one more time in case anybody missed this. Again, Terrence Gore, RIP. You know, he was the last champion athlete announced dead before the Super Bowl. But like I said down here, his name had all these connections to Seattle, including the 129 as they become 12-9 versus the Patriots. All right. If you guys missed this earlier, Mike McDonald hired on 131. Here, I'm going to have to pull this up. 131, 2024 to the Super Bowl, 739 days, the 131st prime. Again, we call that the Super Bowl number. Super Bowl equals 131. Going with his 131 hiring. And then since the Seahawks won their last Super Bowl, Super Bowl 48, tonight they got their 131st win. So, whoo, man, I wish I would have had that. I wish I would have had that. And that means the Super Bowl number did hit in a major way. I was not aware of that one, though. I was looking at the Patriots picking up the 41st postseason win. So that ties in nicely with the 12. And again, you missed something in the decode. Hey, you know what else is crazy? That's 212 games played, right? 2, 1, 2. You know, Seattle, Washington, 2-1-2. Drake May went to UNC last night. UNC beat Duke. I mean, that looked like a good sign for Duke because look at this, you guys. Just to make a point, the UNC player who hit game-winning 3 versus Duke, number 7, like they had a chance at 7, but Seth Trimble. Again, year after year, we're showing you how college basketball is used for these major clues. Look at his name, 131, the Super Bowl number. So we were looking at that last night in the 41 and going, man, number 7, Patriots can pick up the 7th. They can be taken with the points. But lo and behold, there was this the whole time. So that is also what you call double coded. And it does make you wonder, God, it seems like based on what they told us, though, Vegas must have paid out in a big way tonight. So, yeah, nice job, caller, who pointed this out about Mike McDonald and the way they lined that up. That's a good one. All right. Let's see. Someone made an interesting point about Cal Raleigh hitting 60 home runs last season. Number 12. That's a good point with the whole Raleigh, North Carolina. And remember, you guys, Cal Raleigh, he set the home run record. Look at this. Cal Raleigh, 49. He set the home run record, if I'm not mistaken, with his 49th home run for a catcher. And I remember he did it 94 days before his birthday. So just like the Seahawks, the only Super Bowl season they'd won before this year was the 94th season. And now they've also won the 106th season in Seattle WA, like you'd write it on an envelope, as 106, 12 years apart for the 12s. They called the and somebody pointed out tonight, just 12s is 106. Maybe that's the 38 joke I was overlooking. And this technically is the 2025 season. They won in their 38th season, and now they won with a 38-year-old coach. I was telling you there was something, I got to be overlooking something about 38. 12s. Again, that's what they call the fans up here, the 12s. Hilarious. Okay. Live and learn. Knowledge is power. Improve from the mistakes. It's just the one thing is it's just like it's crazy how a lot of my greatest predictions of all time for this thing were 10 years ago. I mean, we had a great year for futures, but they have made it a lot harder than it used to be. They double code. It's just like a lot. There wasn't these double coded things like this back then, or unless somehow I was getting lucky and just overlooking the other half of it and just always dialing into the right half. But it does feel like things are a lot more double coded. All right. Anyway, hopefully they don't turn out the power too soon. Good reminder about Cal Raleigh. Did I make a post about Cal Raleigh or did I just cover it on Patreon? Yeah, and getting to 60. Yeah. Oh, God, he broke the record on Kobe Bryant Day. Damn. Yeah, we should have gone back and looked at this. He broke it on Kobe Bryant Day from the Carolinas. Seattle, Washington, home run both 94. He broke the home run record 94 days before his birthday. And that was, he ended up hitting 60, like the year of Super Bowl 60. Absolutely. Just all the sports being scripted together. Cal Raleigh, Washington, catcher. Yeah, man. I guess another thing I could do is just get more organized with just being like, okay, I got to keep a scrapbook. This event, that's kind of what needs to be done. It's like you need to have every major sports city put it on the page. This was a big thing for Seattle that happened. Don't forget this. When you're going back later in the year and looking at it like, oh yeah, Cal Raleigh got to 60 home runs. Yeah, here let's see what day he hit the 60th home run. Hold up. He did it September 24th. So this is an early part of the NFL season. It was 20 days after the season began. It would have been. Wait. 7, 14, 20. So it wasn't on the day NFL games were played, but at 24/9, while the country's 249 years old, football 249. The Super Bowl on the 249th day at Darnold's age. From that day to the Super Bowl was 137 days, the 33rd prime. And the one thing about 137 is there is something called satanic gematria. I mean, it's pretty simple actually how it works. Instead of starting with A as 1, it starts with, that's interesting that 12 is 351 in that cipher because that's the 26th triangular number. But it just starts at A is 36 and counts up. And what's wild is if you write out satanic gematria, it equals 666, which is the 36th triangular number. Keep in mind, Seattle is the land of the beastquake. But NFL is 137 in that cipher. And it is pretty satanic. Look at the way they sacrifice everybody. And literally this year it was in the church. Yeah, Seattle's known for the beastquake on the 47th parallel where beast is 47. And San Francisco is known for creating the Church of Satan. Yeah, Cal Raleigh's 60th home run would have been another good thing to have talked about. Just let it slip through the cracks. And yeah, it is crazy, the Carolina thing too, being from the Carolinas and named Cal. It goes to show you guys. I mean, if you don't get it, I mean, these people are being born and bred to be 29 years old too. Seahawks win with 29 points. "74 days after Raleigh's birthday." 74 is the 52nd composite with the 52s that played for Seattle too. Man, amazing. His full name 76, like San Francisco, where the game was. His full name also 130, like Washington. Obviously playing in Washington State. Pete Carroll had a big upset over the 49ers in San Francisco years ago on Washington's birthday. He picked up his 130th regular season win. It's a November 11th game. Yeah. The Super Bowl 61 logo has been revealed. Let's see. I've never used the logo. I've never used the logo to make my future predictions. Are you sure it's been revealed? It says it might have been leaked. Newsweek. Yeah, I'd wait to be I'd wait to get more information. But like I said, I've never liked to use the logo for the future prediction. All right, but soon enough it will be. All right. Anyway, we'll leave it there for tonight. Again, I wish the NFL fans would take note, see through these crazy scripts. How many more times? I mean, did I not write a book about Seattle in 19 and Cooties 19? Because I know I did. If you guys don't know, I mean, the most important prediction I did, it wasn't actually even sports related. Could have saved this whole damn nation. Right here. Told you guys early in 2020, they'd wind down their cootie scam as soon as the year of the tiger came around. Taught all about why Cooties 19 happened when it did, and why the first case in the world outside of China had to be in 19 land, Seattle, when old Billy Goat simulated the thing with Event 201. So see how Seattle has the 82 as well? Because look at this. Just like Pfizer. So not an accident. Not an accident at all. But yeah, good job, you guys. Lots of good contributions and calls and reminders, and just more evidence of how it really is all done. And, you know, baseball, the year that we were so certain about Brady beating Mahomes in the Super Bowl, it was through baseball too. It was something that happened early in the baseball season with Kansas City and Tampa Bay. And it was a big 131 ritual. It was a big 131 ritual. Super Bowl and championship, 131. Year after year, those same old numbers. All right, guys. We'll leave it there for now. And until next time.